What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a while, but I'm back. And today I will be continuing my series of the best players I saw play while I was the scoreboard operator at my high school. So, this is part 3 of the series, and don't worry, there's a lot more coming. There's a lot more parts to this. Like I've said, I've saw a lot of great players play. I'm just trying to keep it at 5 a video. And again, this is no particular order, so I don't need you guys like, oh, you put him over him. No, I don't need that. No particular order. The first player on this list is Marcus Dumerville. Okay, so Marcus Dumerville was an offensive lineman at St. Thomas. He was probably the most dominant offensive lineman I ever saw play. Marcus, to me, is the most dominant I'd ever seen play. And we had some dominant offensive linemen at St. Thomas, hands down. So the reason why I say that is because no one got past him. I mean, he did his job absolutely well. Like, Marcus was absolutely a dominant player, and he just was always about his business, and he did his job to the best of his abilities. Also, how big he was. Marcus is 6'5" and weighs 298 pounds, according to ESPN. So I mean, he's just dominant. Like, I remember there was one memory that me and Marcus, I remember distinctly. So Marcus was 2 years ahead of me, and one thing that I would do was like, I would take my hand and I would put it up against his. This dude literally had like Kawhi hands. It was unbelievable. That just goes to show you how big he was, or how big he is. His senior year, which was my sophomore year, we went 15-0, and we won the state championship and we won the national championship game. So after that, he ended up going to LSU for 3 years, and then he went to Maryland for 2 years, and now currently he's at his last season at the University of Arkansas. So Marcus, if you're watching this, shout out to you. It was definitely awesome seeing you play in high school, and thank you for the memories, and good luck to you in the future. The second player I have on this list is Zion Turner. So Zion was starting quarterback for St. Thomas. Zion absolutely was a beast. So Zion was in the same grade as I was, and his sophomore year, which is kind of rare at St. Thomas, his sophomore year, he got the starting job on varsity, and he was lights out. He led St. Thomas to 15-0 his first year, like I said in the last entry. 15-0, state championship, national championship. Then next year, which was COVID, we didn't go to the national championship game, but we did win the state championship. And then in his last year, which was him and mine senior year, led us to the state championship again. So three-peat. Three-peat. I mean, unlike anything I'd ever seen before, and Zion he always had a focus on what he wanted to do. He was always focused on the task at hand. He knew what was expected of him, and he always, 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 always delivered, for St. Thomas. It was unbelievable. He was more of like a Patrick Mahomes type of quarterback. He had amazing receivers as well, and he just had a way of, making defenders miss as well. He could go on the run too. Yeah, Zion was tough, man. He really was tough. After our senior year, he ended up going to UConn for 2 years. Then he transferred to Jacksonville State in Alabama for 1 year. And now currently he is at the University of Marshall as their starting quarterback. Zion, if you're watching this, bro, shout out to you. Thank you for all the memories, man. You were definitely like one of the most determined football players I've ever seen play, hands down. Shout out to you, man. Good luck to you in the future. The third player I have on this list is Anthony Hankerson. Okay, so Anthony was a running back. He was also in my grade as well. Anthony was just always hype, man. He just was always hype whenever, like, it didn't matter where we were. He was like on the field, off the field, just about anything he did. He just always had a competitive edge to him. He had a sight set on what he wanted to do, and Anthony, he was just unbelievable, man. So I mentioned Xavier Terrell in the first part of this series. The thing is that his senior year, Anthony was the primary starting running back. It was him, Xavier Terrell, and Jamari Sands. But Anthony was the primary starter. And Anthony, man, I don't think I ever saw him get tackled by the first man. He was just like a tough, hard-nosed player, man. He never, ever let any opponent intimidate him, make him feel like he couldn't do something. It didn't matter which team we were playing. Didn't matter. It could have been IMG, Mater Dei, Bishop Gorman. He was determined, like, I'm gonna outperform you guys. And we as a team are gonna get this W over you. We are gonna get this win over you. I always loved his mindset. After high school, he ended up going to Colorado for 2 years, and then he transferred to Oregon State, where he is still at today. So, Anthony, if you're watching this, bro, shout out to you, man. I hope next year you get a good draft grade. I would love to see you play in the NFL. I know you have what it takes to make it to the NFL, man. You always have had a determined mindset, and you've always have that no one can stop me attitude. So I know you have what it takes to make it in the NFL. Anthony, man, shout out to you, and good luck to you in the future. The fourth player I have on this list is Mason Taylor. Okay, so Mason and I, again, were also in the same grade. He had an unbelievable mindset. And, Mason, he played tight end, and his dad is the legendary Dolphins player, Jason Taylor. Coach Taylor, he was the defensive line coach at one point at St. Thomas, and then he transitioned to being the defensive coordinator, and now he's a coach at Miami. Mason, he was a beast at tight end for sure. He ended up playing JV his freshman year. As I mentioned, Zion didn't get the starting job his sophomore year. The reason why is because Zion was on JV his freshman year, and Zion was the starting quarterback on JV. Mason was wide receiver / tight end on JV. I would know because I also ran the scoreboard for those games. And man, oh man, that JV team, they went undefeated that year. Mason ended up playing at St. Thomas all 4 years, was a part of that three-peat run. And after high school, he went to LSU for 3 years, and then after his third year at LSU, he declared for the NFL draft and was drafted by the New York Jets, where he is in his rookie season today. Mason, thank you so much for the memories, bro. You're definitely a baller, and I cannot wait to see what you can do in the future. I hope everything works out for you in the NFL. Thank you for the memories, my man. All right. The fifth and final player is a guy who I have interviewed on this channel before. Is my guy, Quincy Skinner. All right. So Quincy was a year ahead of me in high school. Quincy was, I believe, my freshman year, which was his sophomore year. He got to play on varsity, but I believe he started as a defensive back his sophomore year. But after that, he transitioned to wide receiver. He actually wore the number Marcus wore his previous year, 81. You know, because he talked about in his interview with me that Marcus is, that's like his brother. And him and Marcus, when Marcus was a senior and Quincy was a junior, they were a dynamic duo, for sure. However, Quincy's senior year, Braylon Brown transferred in from Chaminade, and they were also like brothers as well. You know what I mean? They were a dynamic duo in their own right, and I will include Braylon in a later part of this series for sure, because Braylon was an unbelievable player as well. Quincy and Braylon were really close. They won the state championship, and Quincy, he was Quincy was just an unbelievable. He just he had a great his mindset. He was determined, but he also let loose on the football field as well. He had fun, man. He had fun. That's a part of the game, is having a little bit of fun. And Quincy definitely had fun out there, man. So there's a little bit of a shocker. So Braylon committed and signed to Ole Miss. And I was convinced that Quincy was going to go to Ole Miss with Braylon. However, it just threw me for a loop completely when Quincy signed to Vanderbilt. And I will play a clip from our interview, and it shows him explaining why he went to Vanderbilt. So I'll insert it right now.
I prayed about the situation because for a period of time I was committed to the University of Miami. Prayed about it, and then from that point on, like I got 30 minutes later, I got a phone call from Derek Mason, and we talked on the phone for 2 hours, and it wasn't even about football. And then once they let Derek Mason go, I had a chance to do some research on Coach Lee and what he brings to the table. Being a part of winning championships, the Notre Dame team that was fighting to get in those playoffs. He coached great guys like Chase Claypool, things of that sort. Jeremiah, how you said Owusu Cormier, I think that's how you said it. He played for the Browns. Like he had a great NFL lineage, and like his ideals were some of the same that Coach Harriet shared. And I knew it wasn't going to be easy, but it's a stepping stone, and it was a building block. And I just wanted to really create my own pathway. Coming out, I had a lot of offers, but I wanted to do something different. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to follow somebody else's path. I wanted to create my own. So that's really what influenced me, and just believing in Coach Lee and what he's building here and what we have going on.
Quincy ended up going to Vanderbilt for 4 years, and then he was undrafted. However, he did sign with the Atlanta Falcons. However, he did not make the final roster, and now he's a free agent looking for a new home. And I am confident that Quincy will find a new home for sure, because Quincy is one of the best wide receivers I've ever seen play. So, Quincy, if you're watching this, bro, shout out to you. You had so many great memories at St. Thomas, and I'll never forget them. So, and all of these guys have created great memories at St. Thomas that I will never forget. Quincy, good luck to you in the future, and thank you for the memories, man. All right, guys, that's going to cap off this video, and I hope you guys enjoyed it. Again, I will be doing another part to this series because, again, there is a lot more. There is a lot more of players that I have seen play that were unbelievable. Thank you guys so much for watching. Do not forget to like and subscribe, and have a great day.